What's up, guys? This is Chris from SG1 Sports, and in this video, we're going to take a look back at the career of Mark Calaway, also known as The Undertaker, before his time in the WWE and before he became the Dead Man. Mark William Calaway was born in Houston, Texas on March 24, 1965. He was the youngest of 5 brothers. Calaway attended Waltrip High School, where he was a member of the football and basketball team. After graduating in 1983, he went to college on a basketball scholarship at Angelina College in Lufkin, Texas. In 1985, he enrolled at Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth, Texas. He played basketball for Texas Wesleyan during the 1985-1986 season and majored in sports management. Calaway was always a professional wrestling fan, but never had really considered being a wrestler. He is quoted as saying, "I was just a mark like everyone else. Back then I had enough to worry about with study and basketball." His 6'9" height caught the eye of wrestling promoter Fritz Von Erich, who convinced Mark to enroll in an introductory wrestling class. Mark joined just to see what it was like, he said. Curiosity got the better of me. He considered playing basketball professionally in Europe, but ultimately decided to focus on his career as a professional wrestler. I would say that was a pretty good decision. Mark Calaway wasn't always The Undertaker. He had many wrestling gimmicks before the Dead Man was born. He actually made his wrestling debut while still in college. He debuted as Texas Red in 1984 for World Class Championship Wrestling. His very first match was against Bruiser Brody, a match he lost. He wrestled for 4 years with WCCW before joining the Continental Wrestling Association in late 1988. Continental Wrestling would later become part of the United States Wrestling Association after Jerry Jarrett bought WCCW and merged the two organizations into one. On February 12, 1989, Calaway debuted as the Master of Pain. The Master of Pain character had just gotten out of prison after serving 5 years for killing 2 men in a fight. In April of 1989, the Master of Pain defeated Jerry Lawler when Dutch Mantell, an ally of the Master of Pain at the time, and a frequent tag team partner, caused chaos when all the wrestlers from the locker room came out to the ring. This was the first professional wrestling championship for Mark Calaway. Lawler would win the title back a few weeks later. The Master of Pain feuded with Jerry Lawler, Lord Humongous, also known as Sid Vicious or Psycho Sid, and others throughout the year of 1989. He also partnered with the Soul Taker, also known as Kama Mustafa, late that year. Wrestling as the Punisher, a masked character, Calaway would win the WCWA Texas Heavyweight Championship on October 5th after Eric Embry forfeited the title. He would then lose the title on October 20th to Kerry Von Erich. You can check out several matches from Calaway's time in CWA, including his debut as the Master of Pain at PWUnlimited.net. There's a link down in the description of this video. In early 1990, Calaway made his debut in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, as Mean Mark Callis. He was a villain and used the ring name Mean Mark. He mainly wore black attire and was portrayed as a morbid character. Announcer Jim Ross described him as having a fondness for pet snakes and the music of Ozzy Osbourne. Teddy Long brought Callis in to join the Skyscrapers tag team alongside Dan Spivey. He was replacing Sid Vicious, who was legitimately injured with a punctured lung due to a broken rib. Callis made his debut with the team on January 3rd, 1990, in a match later televised against Agent Steel and Randy Harris. This new version of the Skyscrapers gained some recognition when they beat down the Road Warriors after their match at Clash of Champions 10. The two teams were set to face off in a Chicago street fight at Wrestle War, but Dan Spivey left WCW just days before this match was set to take place. Spivey was replaced with Masked Skyscraper, who was Paul Enos, but the team lost and broke up shortly after this match. Callis would then focus on his singles career with manager Paul E. Dangerously, also known as Paul Heyman. Callis got on a bit of a roll under the guidance of Dangerously and would defeat Johnny Ace at Capital Combat and Brian Pillman at Clash of the Champions 11. He got his first championship opportunity at the Great American Bash in July. He would face Lex Luger for the NWA United States Heavyweight Championship, but lose via pinfall. Paul Heyman had gotten in touch with Bruce Pritchard, a former WWE executive, and suggested bringing Calaway into the WWF. Knowing Vince McMahon was watching, Calloway fought through the pain of a dislocated hip and finished the match against Luger. McMahon wasn't interested at first, but Pritchard talked him into meeting with Calloway when WCW traveled to New Jersey for a house show on August 24th. The meeting went well, and Calloway decided to make the move to WWF. His final match for WCW was against Dave Johnson on September 7th at a worldwide taping in Amarillo, Texas. During his short stint with WCW, Calloway also had a few matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, wrestling as the Punisher. In between WCW and WWF, Calloway returned to USWA for a tournament to determine the new USWA Unified World Heavyweight Champion. He defeated Bill Dundee in the first round, but then lost to longtime nemesis Jerry Lawler in the quarterfinals. In October 1990, Calloway signed with the World Wrestling Federation, and that is where this story will continue. Make sure you hit the like button if you want to see more videos just like this one, subscribe to the channel, and visit PWUnlimited.net for more.